Okay, Chris, could you give us a brief bio about yourself?
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm Chris Gadlin. I've resided in Boulder City basically for 46 years. One little hiatus when I was in Yuma. As an instructor at Arizona Western College. Other than that, pretty much have lived, worked, grew up in Boulder City. I have a degree in industrial education and am a business owner in Boulder City at this time.
What type of business?
I have a small equipment repair business, and I also have a U-Haul dealership.
John?
Yes.
I won't even try to attempt your last name. Could you
JD.
Could you give us a bio about yourself? Include your last name in it, please.
Well, it's pretty hard to do with 83 years experience to wrap it up in a minute or two, but I have the experience on the back of my flyer, and I'm going to go through it as fast as I can.
Just take out the key points.
Key points. I was charged with organizing and administering the first area-wide regional government for Interior Alaska. As chairman of the Fairbanks North Star Borough, I served as city manager 5 years, Shoreview, Minnesota. I'm presently on the Planning Commission in Boulder City. I've been involved in many civic affairs wherever I've been. Military service, Sergeant, Army Engineer, served under Patton's 3rd Army, European Tour, World War II.
You served under who, sir?
General Patton. Have you ever heard of him?
Yes, sir.
I've read a lot about him.
I've also been very involved in private enterprises. I formed a grocery association. I had several stores myself. I've been in property management. I've been a principal broker in a number of real estate companies in Hawaii. I've been a consultant for Kauai's Paradise Pacifica. I was vice president of a Transworld Development Company in Honolulu. And I was a member of the Laborers International Union when I went to Alaska. Some of the projects we did there were the White Alice radar systems on the Arctic coast, power plant at Allison Air Force Base, and the hospital at Ladd Air Force Base. 20 years commercial and residential real estate in Clark County. Also, I was a member of a military civilian group in Fairbanks area. We met with the commanding officers of Ladd and Allison Air Force Base, Anderson Radar, with the members of the president of the University of Alaska and the president of the Chamber of Commerce and myself and the Community Relations Group. We had very little problems with the military there, and so it turned out to be just a real great social gathering frequently.
John, before we go into Cam's bio, I have one simple question. Why? Why?
Why
are you running?
Okay, very simple.
Shouldn't you be at some tropical island just trying to enjoy life? Oh, you've been there already.
Yeah.
No, I plan on, I've adopted the city of Boulder City as my home. I have a family there. I have grandchildren there. I have children. My youngest daughter is the auxiliary police officer in Boulder City. Although she lives in Las Vegas, she goes up there for special affairs. And I feel, because Boulder City has a lot of problems at this time, and I feel that the experience I've had, I could step in and without any need for on-the-job training, I could step right in and help with these problems. And I'm free, I'm retired from business, and I'm ready to go to work and try to help the community with solving their problems. They have debt. The tax revenues are not going to meet our expectations, as everybody else is in the same boat, I guess. But we've got a lot of problems, and we have a split community. I would like very much to be in the middle of that. I'd love to be the swing vote on the council, to be very frank, between the two factions. And I can take the best out of both groups and put it to the benefit of the city.
Okay, thank you. Cam Walker.
Thank you, Steve. Pleasure to be here in the Veterans of Politics. I'm Cam Walker. I'm a 5th generation Southern Nevada. and I've lived in Boulder City for the last 14 years. My wife was born there, so we moved there when our son went to kindergarten, and that moved us back to Boulder City where her family is. We have 4 different generations of family in Boulder City living there. My education is I have a degree in business from BYU and a master's in public administration from UNLV. And my experience in the professional field, I currently work for McCarthy Building Companies. We're building the airport and parking structure, a university project, and a high school. So we do large construction projects. But my background is such that it's very unique in helping Boulder City because I spent 5 years with the Las Vegas Valley Water District, and I understand utility needs since Boulder City has its own power and water utility. And likewise, I've spent 8 years on major projects working with my longtime partner and friend, Bob Broadbent. I'm pleased to be here because I was born in Alaska, so John and I have some relationship. My dad was serving in the Navy Reserves and stationed there as a lieutenant commander. And his joke is that's what you do in Alaska is you have babies.
Long winters.
Long winters. So I was born there while my father served in the Navy, and call Las Vegas home, and I'm very happy to be serving and have served on the Finance Advisory Committee by the council to go through the city's budget, which has some specific and very unique issues. And am pleased to have the mayor and the city council members that are leading me to support in my candidacy for run for city council.
Thank you. First question we go to V. Carson.
Sir, I'm going to ask I'm sorry.
JD.
One question, one answer.
JD. JD, did you say you had 83 years of experience?
Well, if you start from birth, yes.
Okay. I was going to say because I'm sorry, with all due respect, you don't look like you're 83 at all. So. My question is to you, are you currently married?
No, I am divorced.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you said you have a lot of free time.
How about you?
Are you getting fresh for me?
Hey, you studied that one.
You didn't ask the question.
He's blushing.
Boy.
My question
The
is
last of the two today, so. We've been here since 2.
I know.
They've been here since 12.
Oh, no.
We're glad we make them laugh.
Anyway, gotta have some humor.
With the demands of the job and, do you think that, there's quite a few things that have happened over the time since your beginning of your career and everything. Do you think that what are the issues that you want to address first, and what are you going to be able to keep up with the demands of your area?
Yeah. All my advertising, I advocate that I want to advocate for veterans and senior citizens. I feel that they're getting a raw deal, and I'd like to go into some depth, but don't have time. But I'd like very much anything that comes up on the city council agenda that will benefit these groups, I'm going to be there for them. And the experience I've had is primarily another reason for trying to help the community get over some of the rough spots. There's a lot of divisions, we have depth, and we have problems.
Thank you. Paul Jackson.